Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe if you are enjoying what you are hearing. Now, on to today's story. For me, cheating wasn't the worst part. Rant? Does anyone else feel like this? I, 45F, am on year out from being left because my 46M wanted to live by himself. I have just found out that for the majority of our marriage he was reaching out to women friends and family to talk about me and our problems. He had been telling them that he only married me because we got pregnant and never loved me. I never thought he would cheat or that he didn't love me. The entire time I thought he just had trouble expressing himself and gave him the benefit of the doubt. When in reality he was communicating just fine but with other women. I worked 2 jobs as a nurse to remove all other marital issues, financial, while he was out having emotional affairs and, finding out now, physical ones. To me, the talking bad about me to others is the worst part because I was working so hard to fix us. I feel like such a chump. I can laugh about it because it's so funny looking back at all of the red flags, but each new revelation makes me so mad at him, and sometimes myself. Write letters telling your side to all the friends and family to whom you talked shit about you. Tell them the financial burden you carried while he was out screwing around, how their sympathetic heart to his whining makes you feel. Tell them you wished someone would have told you sooner how he felt so you wouldn't have supported him through his affairs. You won't get a response, but it will make you more human to them. I've wanted to tell my STBX sister-in-law or mother-in-law, but she has always seemed to enable him. My family is disgusted by him, so luckily I do have that support. That is why you need to write them letters. And mail them in handwritten envelopes. And not just those to any woman you know he was screwing around with. And their spouses. I'm so over covering for this crap for fear of being made to look crazy. He is a loser. You aren't doing anyone any favors keeping it a secret. While it may be satisfying to tell your side, they don't care. Blood is thicker than water. They will defend him, even when faced with facts. In my experience since D-Day, unless I reach out, I don't hear a word from my in-laws. I was abandoned by him, and them as well. He left for greener pastures, and they didn't care that I was left blindsided and broken. They chose to victim blame. I should have left him years ago. As much as it might feel good to tell your side, they don't care. It's hurtful and infuriating. Best to try and work through the pain and move on. It's where my focus is now. The truth will come out in the end. They will see for themselves because a narcissist doesn't change. This. I told my ex's mom all of his dirty laundry because he was a liar, cheater and had a drinking problem among mental health issues. His mom initially was sympathetic and shocked, but quickly made me the drama queen. Anything to prevent her from having to leave denial. Her baby boy was simply just not capable of these things, and I am certainly the scorned ex-girlfriend who's mad he moved on, yes, by cheating on me. I feel the same way. I even let my mill listen to some audio too. Prove I were not making any of this up. She completely denies hearing it. She says my son would never do that. He loves you, etc. It was no use. All the cheating he tells them I made up. No, I didn't. Writing letters I think is a good idea, but don't deliver them, burn them. If those people are in his side, they will laugh at you and talk crap. It will be a waste of time. I'm sorry, but try to move forward and be strong. I'm trying, but when he knocks down mentally I cry and have to find my strength again. Good luck first, there's nothing to kick yourself over. You were used and abused by a weak-willed and weak-minded coward. This makes you feel like shit for being foolish enough to trust, and makes you feel weak and stupid by association, but if you're wiser now, you can forgive yourself. Second, the cheating wasn't the worst part for me either. sex is sex. It's just two people grinding their fun bits on each other for a while. It's the deception, the betrayal, the backstabbing, the clowning of you to their friends, their fuck-around partners, and everybody seeming to know but nobody caring enough to do you a solid and tip you off that your life is a lie that really hurts. It's deleterious to your basic human faculty, it robs you of agency, and puts a big dent in your spirit. You got worked by somebody who has years of practice being a shitty human. Lick your wounds, come out wiser, and you'll be just fine. Also, the robbing of your agency really resonates with me. Being honest is not that hard. Tell the truth so that I can make decisions for me and my family going forward. My kids and I are doing so much better financially and emotionally, but it has been a long process. If I had known instead of being lied to the entire time, it would not have hit me so hard, I think, because the BS is blindsided in many cases. Yep, you couldn't have just slipped a note under my door, lol. Even my stepkids knew. I got such a note. It was tucked away on our headboard. I didn't find it until after she'd moved out. My bad, I suppose. I wasn't performing thorough examinations of my sleeping area for secret notes amidst the constant emotional distress and uncertainty of whether I was awake or asleep that lasted for months. But I digress. I still have the note. In a box labeled, divorce. I really can't tell you what it says, because I don't really remember, other than I just need some space. When I found the note, she'd been banging AP for weeks. Just needed some space. Yeah. Trust me, putting the gaslighting in writing doesn't make it any more sensible or reasonable. In her mind, I'm sure she thought she was doing me some kind of favor. In the end, they're just selfish, greedy, liars. They can put it in a note, or disappear without a word. The result is the same, your well-being is secondary to their immediate satisfaction. In reality, he was communicating just fine but with other women. I strongly disagree. He is manipulating the other women, and other people. Even if he is not interested in infidelity with them, e.g., complaining to his brother or male friend, he is doing so in order to get a reaction that gives him the feeling he wants, whether to get another woman in a relationship with him, have sex with him, or have someone tell him you are right and she is wrong and I feel so sorry for you, some kind of attention he is looking for. He is not being honest and open with them, he is deciding which info to tell them and which info they shouldn't receive, in order for them to give him the reaction he is seeking. Behavior like this is not new, it is a childhood coping mechanism that has worked for him, and he has surrounded people who will give him what he seeks, reaction he wants, or else he stops talking to them, and only talks to the one who gives him the right reaction. If he came here and posted his sad story of his terrible wife, someone like me and others would say, so what? What are you doing about it? Why are you just complaining rather than doing something to fix it or leave? And likely he would say, I just can't because of finances, housing, kids, work, whatever, and I just can't talk to her, she ignores me. End result, he is sacrificing for no fault of his own and can't get out of it. Woe is me. Don't do the negative self-talk stuff. I think you have a lot going on and you know it. The self-deprecating stuff does have an effect after a while, I believe. You are not a chump because you loved someone and gave them the benefit of the doubt. Thanks for this. That actually makes a lot of sense that he is manipulating them too. Same thing happened to me, except my ex-wife told me she would have broken up with me had she not gotten pregnant, and we went on to have 5 children together. She finally physically cheated just before our youngest's 2nd birthday, but she had been emotionally cheating for years. I knew about a few guys she was messaging on Facebook for a while, which I told her made me very uncomfortable, but I didn't want to force her to stop talking to anyone. She's an adult and I figured I had no control over her, but she was invested in our relationship and wouldn't intentionally hurt me. I always considered her a bit too good-natured and naive about people, as she was constantly being taken advantage of, but I never imagined she was taking advantage of me, which of course she was. She refused to work for over a decade, and that kinda solved the mystery as to why she kept getting pregnant whenever I requested she return to work to help me with the financial burden. On top of the house payments and feeding and clothing everyone, she was also notoriously lazy even among her own family and friends, and always wanted to go out to eat. She was also a shopaholic and hoarder. I used to fight with her a lot over the condition of our home and her constantly borrowing dollar I couldn't pay back from her fairly financially comfortable parents. Whenever we would get into it, she would inevitably accuse me of manipulating her to become someone she wasn't, and always tried to turn everything on me, saying I was being emotionally abusive or controlling. I effing hated it, and after I caught her cheating, she accused me of cheating while I tried to give her a chance to fix things in marriage counseling. There was zero remorse. She actually told me she only regretted not having the guy more than the one time. I eventually learned she had been with 2 others with plans to hook up with a 4th guy she wanted to try because he was intact. Thinking about the amount of stress I was constantly living with is actually giving me a knot in my stomach right now. I guess I'm still living with some of the trauma caused by the years of emotional abuse. She disgusts me. Wow. I'm so sorry that happened to you and your kids. It got worse before it got better. My older 2 are living with me full time now because she abused them, but they're doing really well now. Glad to hear you're doing better. You deserve it. In my experience, 2 people who level back accusations of you being controlling when you express healthy concerns openly are often masking something themselves. Yes, she definitely was. And thank you, we are much happier now. This is similar to my situation. So many people knew, and it's humiliating. I raised a kid for 6 years, from 13 to 19, my husband's youngest brother. He lived in my home, I fully supported him like he was my own. He knew I was an appliance. He's an adult now, married with a child, that family is gone. It hurts immensely. People say I should be happy my ex is out of my life, and I am, but the loss of so many other people I thought of as friends and family is crushing. Knowing I invited people onto my home, celebrated holidays with people, helped them in times of financial crisis or when they suffered a loss of a loved one, helped people when they were sick. And the whole time I was a joke being used. For 20 years of marriage, people either felt sorry for me but stayed silent, or found it funny and critiqued me like I was less than human while I helped them. It's debilitating when I think about it. That's definitely the worst part for me. That is the worst part, unfortunately. The people that you lose. My stepkids have actually told me they suspected. They have reached out to me because his behaviors towards them haven't improved either, and they need someone to talk to. That's how I found out I was an appliance to him. Luckily, this appliance grew legs and I've gone no contact unless it's on our family wizard. I feel for you. Such a terrible thing to be on the receiving end of. For me it was 3 things. Being used and manipulated. Realizing I wasted 7 years with him, he had feelings for the woman for 7 years. Having sex with him, when he knew he wasn't in love with me and had no connection to me. That last one makes me so angry. Had I known he had no feelings for me or feelings for anyone else, there is no way in hell I would have slept with him. Betrayal everywhere. That's why I'm grateful the marriage ended. Same here. These types of people treat others as a commodity, and that is so gross to me. I never would have stayed if I knew the truth either. I think they know that though, and that's why they manipulate/lie. It's an interesting situation. I know that 4 months after we separated, and before the affair had been uncovered, and while my ex was very much actively in a sexual relationship with his AP, he confided in a longtime friend of his that he was unsure if he had done the right thing, and made the right decision. Technically I left him, so that wasn't his decision, but maybe he had doubts that he hadn't tried harder to make the marriage work, etc, etc. So a part of me gets pleasure out of knowing that a part of him probably stayed with his AP because he knew I would never take him back. You lost a loser and gained yourself. To go behind your back with complaints, and telling others he didn't love you is bits per second. The really sad part is that the so-called friends and family didn't give you a heads up. That really sucks. Even his family should have had the decency to tell you what was going on. That's so true. I would never have left him if I hadn't found out about his cheating, because I've always believed in commitment unless there's abuse. And I do believe that using people and lying is abuse. It just sucks that no one had the decency to tell me like you posted. That has been more devastating than the cheating. On a positive note, I did lose 200 pounds of dead weight, haha. Winning. Reading Chump Lady's book and that website has helped me so much. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Have an awesome day or night, wherever you are.